Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the United Way for your Manchester United breaking show. Is Ten Hag set to be sacked in the summer? Well, look, we're going to talk about the breaking news that has come out from Di Marzio. Look, you can never get a normal week at Manchester United. We are going to talk about this news. Again, I'm not saying I believe it. I'm not saying I don't believe it. I'm just coming on here to discuss about it and just to try and get our heads around it because I think every Manchester United fan who's seen the news is a bit confused. And look, I'm confused, but look, I thought the best thing we can do is just come on here and talk about the breaking news. That's all we can do. Di Marzio has come out and said, breaking at the end of the season, Man United will say goodbye to Erik Ten Hag. It is certain they will be saying goodbye to him. Now, look, I want Ten Hag to stay as Manchester United manager, but it'd be interesting, like, really what happens now. Is it true? Let's see. Look, we will read a bit more about what Di Marzio has said because it is very interesting news and it's just come out of the blue. So he has said, he also spoke about Kieran McKenna. He said he is the number one choice at Brighton. I mean, Kieran McKenna, ex-Man United, has promoted Ipswich to the Premier League, so fair play to him. But he says, anyways, but he's already spoken to Manchester United, and at the end of the season, Man United will say goodbye to Ten Hag. Like I said, it's hard to know what way to take the news because you're getting told that it's going to be certain that he'll be gone. Suppose you were interested in our targets is Kieran McKenna and Mauricio Pochettino, who left Chelsea yesterday. It is going to be interesting to see what happens, but like now, it's hard to know. Is it true? Is it not true? We're just waiting for the David Ornstein and Fabrizio Romano, someone who's a bit more higher in the news department to say yes, it's true or no, it's not true. Because I'd rather know whether it's true or not. And I think every other Manchester United fan would as well. Regardless if you want Ten Hag to stay or go. But Di Marzio, does a few bits and bobs with Italy. There's obviously sort of always reporting news related to Manchester United. But it's a bit weird that if it is true, we announced it before the FA Cup final against Man City on Saturday. Like, it is a bit interesting. You think if they were to sack him, they do it after the FA Cup final, like we done with Louis van Gaal. He won the FA Cup, and then he got sacked not long after. So I'm surprised we didn't do anything like that. But then again, you don't know whether this news is true or not. That's the problem. That is the problem. It's not that we're not saying it's not true, because Di Marzio is decent. I wouldn't say he's up there with Romano or David Ornstein or your people like that. But again, you really don't know with these, journalists or people like that. He hasn't put it on the socials himself. But he was on a show and he basically said it. But it'd be nice if he came out and put a bit of clarification behind it, because we're only getting little glimpses, but we're not getting the whole 9 yards. But again, please do, join us. Let us know your thoughts on the news. Do you believe it? Do you not believe it? Are you a bit like me? You're not sure what to make of it? Like I said, but I just want someone like a Rich Romano to just say, look, yeah, it's true, or yes, it's not true, because then we can say, right. But if it is true, it's a bit shit, because I want Ten Hag to remain at Manchester United next season. But, you look at the manager, you look at the people, the managers, who are free now, Pochettino, or the managers who have been linked with, De Zerbi, Poch, Kieran McKenna. We were linked with Gareth Southgate, but I don't want him at Manchester United. Last week it was Thomas Tuchel, but it'd be interesting to see what he does. Will he go back to Chelsea since he's leaving Bayern and Chelsea are looking for a manager? It is going to be very, very interesting to see what happens now at Manchester United, because, like I said, I'm constantly refreshing Twitter, and it's hard to know whether it's true. But look, I'm not saying if it is. We'll say if it is true, just I don't think it. Well, not that I don't think it is. We'll just we'll go two sides. If it is true, as someone who wants Ten Hag to stay, it's a bit of a shame. But then I want to know who actually are we going to bring in? I don't want Southgate. I don't even want De Zerbi. Kerr McKenna, look, he's done very well with Ipswich, got them up to the Premier League, which, I mean, look, fair play to him. But is it too soon to be bringing in someone like him? I know people could say, oh, look at, we could have, look at what he's doing at Arsenal, bringing our, blah, blah, blah. Again, I don't know. Would it be too soon to bring in a Kieran McKenna if Ten Hag were to get sacked? Again, like I said, he's done a decent job with Ipswich Town. Fair play. I'm happy for him, but is it a bit too soon to bring him to Manchester United? Yeah, it's a very, very big job with a lot of stress behind it. I'm sure Ten Hag and every former Manchester United manager can agree with me on that one. That I mean, watching them is a bit of a stress, so I can imagine managing them is even more stressful for Erik Ten Hag. But you look at the season we've had; it hasn't been a great season at all. We finished 8th in the Premier League, no European football next season. Where our hopes do rely on the FA Cup final. Even if we do win that, look, it'd be brilliant. It'll be over the moon, but you still can't forget this. The season we just had in the Premier League has been abysmal. But it really, really is going to be very, very interesting to see what happens with the boss. And I do want to get people's opinions and all that. It's a bit of a stream that was just automatically, or what should I say, just out of the blue, just had to get it set up because I couldn't wait until 7 or 8 o'clock. How's things, just your pal? Hope you're well. Hope all is well, pal. But yeah, look, the next couple of hours now are going to be interesting. And again, this is the thing, Manchester United. Since again, like Richard said, he literally just took the words out of my mouth. It's going to be an interesting few months. Yeah, exactly. It will be a very, very interesting few months, Richard, pal, because again, I think not even the months are interesting. Manchester United, every day is interesting. Every day I wake up on my link to so and this and this and this. I mean, the summer is going to be busy for Manchester United, for people that own Man United fan channels, because you're going to be constantly doing live streams. Trust me, it's something I have to brace myself for, but I'm willing to do it. I mean, you have a bit of news here. Kieran McKenna is likely to reject any new contracts. Ipswich Town offer him. The manager feels it's the right time to move. Man United are considering McKenna if they decide to sack Ten Hag, while Brighton and Chelsea are also interested in the Ipswich boss. And we're also Pochettino would be interested in talking to United if Man decided to part ways with Erik Ten Hag. I mean, Fabrizio Romano has spoken, but he hasn't really said whether the news is true or not. He's just come out and said Erik Ten Hag's situation is really open. Anything can happen, and there's possibility for him to leave Manchester United. So he's saying again, reading that just basically says there's a possibility of him leaving Manchester United. So what? Again, I don't. These things about we've had Ben Jacobs on the channel, we've had Rob Dawson on the channel, we've had Jamie Jackson on the channel, but the problem is, like, you find with these, they don't look. Just let us know. Again, obviously, as much as they're top journalists, they're not going to know everything. They're not going to just presume, obviously. But I tell you what, the clarification is going to be very, very interesting, because the next couple of hours, again, Ten Hag would more look what Ten Hag's press conference this week. What'll that be, a Friday? Again, obviously, he's going to deny anything, of course. Richard says, let's send them off in the right way. Let's win that FA Cup. Come on, United. Oh, look, I'd love us to win that FA Cup. If it was look, if this was to be his last game, I would love to send him off winning the FA Cup. I really, really would. And I hope we do win the FA Cup regardless of if Ten Hag stays or not. But again, this was the thing, wasn't it? Like, we can't really, as Manchester United, this once the FA Cup final is done, then it's focused on the summer. Then it'll be interesting to see what happens with Ten Hag. But whoever we bring in, if he is to get sacked, is an interesting one, because I don't really feel confident with Tuchel, De Zerbi, Southgate. Jesus Christ, I'm glad we're not linked to him as much anymore. Pochettino, I mean, why he left Chelsea, I mean, look, that's really nothing for me to care about. But when I seen the news about Poch leaving Chelsea, I was really, really surprised. But the manager market is not good. It's not good. You look at, I hate speaking about it, but you look at Liverpool. As I'm sure Liverpool fans would say, Klopp couldn't have picked the worst time to leave because there's no manager available. They brought in some bloke from, Arne Slot, who, look, as a Man United fan, I hope he flops, but you just don't know. So us bringing in a manager, it's just sort of, he's done this, so let's just hope. If we do get rid of Ten Hag and bring in a new manager, it's going to be, right, let's just hope. Let's just hope that he does the job and he can get Manchester United back to the top again and competing and winning the big trophies. But you can't promise that. You can't promise that. But again, I'm not sure whether, I mean, look, I just want to ask actually, because I know, again, Varane, his future is still not decided, but you're also saying that Erik Ten Hag saying that Manchester United is a 50-50 situation. Like, it is going to be open. Of course, it's going to be open. Everything with Manchester United is open. Our defence is fucking open, for fuck's sake. But I really, really don't know. I really, really don't know what to expect. And again, like Richard says, all the tactics change again. So that's another season. And the thing is, though, you know what happened? We sack Ten Hag, right? We have a great pre-season. We bring in a few signings. But we play well for the first 6 months. Say 6 months. And then it's back to the same situation again. Shit. What are we going to do with this manager now? And I don't think I'd even have the patience with Ten Hag. I don't think with another manager, like, I have patience with Ten Hag, I have faith in Ten Hag. I don't think I'd have that in another manager. But you just don't know. But again, I really, really want to, like, again, I'm looking forward to the next couple of weeks, but yeah, it really, really is going to be interesting as well. But if you are new, please do like the video, comment your thoughts on the news, and do subscribe. Much would appreciated. Going to be a big summer for the channel. We're going to do as much as we can. But look, let's just see what happens. I mean, like I said, if I had to just ask people now, with the managers that are available, just if Ten Hag gets sacked, just say, I hate to say them words because for all, like, I think that, and I don't know what anyone else would say, but many people have been, like, many people have sat here and said, I want Ten Hag to stay. Richard says, well, I think Harry McKenna will go to Brighton. That'd be an interesting appointment, and I think it'd actually be a good appointment as well. User 80 says, what are the tactics, Richard? I haven't seen any. Says user 80. And again, look, like I said, people want Ten Hag out. I want Ten Hag to remain. I know, look, this season has been shit. Like, if it's not one of it, I think it's literally our worst season. Like, I can't remember last time we had a bad season. Maybe many, many moons ago, but look, we've had, don't get me wrong, Jesus, we've had bad seasons, but this one just, yeah. And look, as much as one Ten Hag to stay, I do fault him for things as well. But I look at them. It's the manager market I look at. If there was a manager out there who I'd feel confident with doing the job, I'd say, right, bring them in. Bring them in. But there isn't really anyone there who can give me confidence. That's just basically what I think of it all. That is just basically what I think of it all. I hope I'm saying your name right. But again, please do tell me if I'm wrong. Just help me with the pronunciation. Quabene or Quabina. Why not? Why not, man? You know, I can go for Zidane says Quabine. Again, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. I mean, look, I like Zidane. I like Zidane when he managed Real Madrid, but again, we were linked to him a while ago as well. We were linked with Jose Mourinho a while ago. Like this is, you know, I mean, before you know it, we'd be all linked to the Manchester United job. You know, we'd be all linked to the job. We'd be all, you know, having a job interview. But I like Zidane, but you look at him with what he done with Madrid. He had top class players there. You know, look at the team he had. He had Ronaldo. He had Benzema, Modric, Kroos. Like Ramos, Bale. Like he's had team brilliant players. But Manchester United, there's a lot of work to be done there. So would he actually do that? User 80 says, as much as you want him to stay, you can't say you will be surprised if he does get sacked. He hasn't done anything to suggest he should. The rubbish he's came out with in the press conferences too. Look, again, if he did get sacked, I wouldn't be surprised. You're right. You are right. I can't disagree with you there. And again, obviously you want Ten Hag to go, and that's fine. You know, I don't mind. Look, people that want Ten Hag to go, just because I want them to say, I'm not going to go mad at people because, you know, you get people having arguments when they want the managers to go and someone wants them to stay. You know, that's fair enough. But for me, yeah, I you know, some of the things he has said after games, especially, I've been a bit like, you know, what you smoking? And I mean, look, you look back to Richard as well, and a few others, you know, that like people have said he has to go, but then people want him to stay. And yeah, I do want him to remain. I don't look. I'd like him to remain for another season, but again, yeah, like you said, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets sacked. I can't sit here and say what. Like I wouldn't. I tell you what, I was more surprised. I was actually more surprised that Pochettino left Chelsea yesterday. that was a surprise. To be brutally honest with you. But that was a big surprise. He also says it's laughable what he's been saying at times. Yeah, look again. You know, I've seen things he said. You know, you see things come out on Twitter or, you know, bits of things like that, and you're a bit like, what the hell are you saying, Ten Hag? But yeah, look, I kind of look. I mean, look, it's true. You know, he has. I wouldn't say it's laughable. It's a bit. It's confusing. It's just yeah. Like I do want him to stay. Like, you know, I mean, I do. I'd love to get rid of a few players as well. User 80 says Richard Hawkins, fair enough, but what has been his ideas. The players don't listen because they've threw every manager under the bus, but it's the spineless players. Oh yeah, I didn't read your comment there. Again, you're back to the players as well. They haven't helped. They really haven't helped. They really haven't helped the players. So there's a few players, and look, after the FA Cup final is done, you know, me and the other lad on the channel, we'll be back and we'll talk about the players who should go, who should come in, all that sort of stuff. Because, you know, the FA, just once you get past the FA Cup final, regardless if we win or lose, then we can focus. Then we can focus on what else we can do. But will it be Van Gaal all over again? Ten Hag, I mean, just said win the FA Cup. Regardless what happens, does he go? Will we have Ten Hag this time next week? You just never know. User 80 says, I'm not Ten Hag out, just saying it's been God, I can't read today. It's been extremely underwhelming and disappointing. Oh, okay, fair enough. That's look at the season's been disappointing. Some of the things Ten Hag has said has been disappointing. There has been times where I've come out, after a match reaction and I've said, or even when I'm doing a watch long, I've said, I just don't see what we're doing there. I just feel like we're just going out and it's just giving hope. You know what I mean? And that's not right. That's not right. But again, the players don't help. The players don't help. Richard says, I never thought Erik Ten Hag was the man for us, but I support the club and the team, not a player or a manager, and have been since 1966, says Richard. Look, you have a lifelong Manchester United fan there who's been supporting Manchester United for, a very, very long time. Loyal fan, as we can see. He's been there during the good and bad times. The thing is, I envy you for you, Richard, is you've probably experienced a lot more glory as a Manchester United supporter than me. Like, look, I've supported Manchester United since I've been born. I haven't supported any other team, and I'm not fucking planning on anyways. I still got to see us win a few trophies and titles and all that, but wish I got the 99. Man, I wish I was alive then, but look, it is what it is. User already says, I'm afraid there's a cultural issue with that dressing room. It's unacceptable that these so-called senior players have ruled the roost for far too long. Exactly, and some of the players, I seen a thing a while ago that said, I forgot what I was going to say now. I see someone like Martinez is a big miss in that dressing room. But look, I'm glad Leach is back. So we're relying on Martinez now because of his presence and he I wouldn't say he's the leader, but he can be. But you look at the dressing room, you have Casemiro, he's been playing so poor. You look at Marcus Rashford. Jesus Christ, I could be here all day naming players. There are players in that dressing room where you would have said last season, yeah, he's a leader, he can do this, he can do that. But then again, players throwing the manager under the bus. We've seen it with, we'll take David Moyes out of it. But you look at Van Gaal, Mourinho, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, even Ralph Rangnick when he managed just for the 6 months interim period. Sometimes the manager is not great. We can't always, but you can't always put the blame on the manager totally. Like if I wanted Ten Hag out, I'd be blaming the players, not blaming them totally because sometimes managers are just not good. But we've seen it time and time again. That's the problem. We haven't seen it once or twice. We've seen it time and time again. I just don't. We've seen it time and time again. That's the problem. We've seen it time and time again, and we have to get rid of a lot of players. A lot of players in the summer, big time. Again, I really hope I'm not pronouncing your name wrong, but Quabuena. I said, as Man United fans, I'm really tired for keeping trying coaches. We should just go for good managers for once. Well, again, Jesus Christ, you look at Mourinho, he was a good manager, failed. I remember Van Gaal. I remember watching Van Gaal in the 2014 World Cup. Didn't do too shabby. We brought him in. Didn't do too great. The football was, I won't even call it football, but look, he won an FA Cup, didn't he? So, fair play to him. But again, sometimes there's good managers out there, but as much as I love Man United now as well, if you're a top class manager, why would you want to come to a club that the players just don't want to work for you? They work for you for maybe 6 months or say just a season, and then they'll just say, "Yeah, fuck this, I don't want to keep doing this." You know what I mean? It's just shit. Richard says, I've also suffered a lot more misery in 1973, for instance. Yeah, okay, that's. I mean, yeah, you definitely shut me. You definitely shut me up there. That's true. That's true. You've shut me up there. But hopefully, I mean, we're still seeing a lot of injuries, a lot of misery, shall I say. User says, "No, I don't see any leaders on that field. It's atrocious." I mean, yeah, there's not many, anyways. There's not many. But again, really, it's upsetting. Even the players who could have been leaders have given up. 100%. 100%. Exactly 100%. And user rate says, when the going gets tough, most of this group hide. Again, 100% again. You've hit the nail on the head. Yeah, there has been players, like it's like when was it after the new Arsenal game, I think it was. Wayne Rooney came out and said some of these players aren't injured, some of these players can play. Wayne Rooney said it, ex-Manchester United legend, what a brilliant striker. Was what I mean. So again, the players might not like it, but was he right when is he right when he says that some of the players that were injured aren't injured? They're more than perfect to play. I mean, you have to give it a think when he's you do have to give it a thought when he said it, no doubt about it. It isn't going to be easy to get rid of the players. We may want to get rid of the ones that are in contract, though, that are out of. We want to get rid of the ones that are in contract, though. We're stuck with them, just like we've been stuck with the likes of Martial. Shocking. I mean, we couldn't even get rid of Martial. We struggled to get rid of him. He did go. Remember, we went to Sevilla. Didn't do great there. Came back, and he did have a good few moments last season. But look, you can't. A few good little moments doesn't really do a lot of help. You have to have a lot of good moments, not just one or two. Look, we do need a clear up, but again, like you said, it's not going to be easy to get rid of some of these players, no doubt about it. Thank goodness this contract is done. What was this summer? Yeah, I'm glad Martial is gone. Really am. It's a shame Varane is leaving, but you can sort of see the reasons why. We're letting him go in the summer. User 80 says, the sad thing is I personally can't believe that some of these players would pretend to be injured. It sums it up really. Yeah, I mean it is true, it is true. And when Rooney did say that, I was like, you know what, you're right. You are right. And again, it is sad. It is sad that some of these players who play for Manchester United are injured. I mean, come on, you know what I mean? Come on. I mean, one player who was really, really disappointing me this season, big time, is Marcus Rashford. He is disappointing me big time this season. Yeah, he has disappointed me because he's meant to be one of our top class players. And last season he was brilliant last season for Manchester United, but this season he's gone off the boil. He's gone off the boil big time, and it's a shame. And he's coming out there saying, he's coming out saying things that don't doubt me and this and that, but you're not really helping us, Rashford. You know what I mean? He's not really helping us. Abuna says, but Ten Hag also has some problems of decision making players like Ahmad is playing very well with this guy, giving Anthony playing time, then Ahmad. Jesus Christ, that's true. Actually, he's had players. Ahmad has played. Ahmad hasn't even played a lot this season, and you look at the way he's been playing recently. You wonder how he wasn't getting into this starting 11, like how, which is shocking. But like, how did Ahmad not get into the squad? He plays them now when it's a bit too late. Like, but people like Ahmad be like, why the hell should I waste me time here when I could go somewhere else and get game time? I mean, after the loan Ahmad had with Sunderland last season, I mean, he'd be definitely one of the players I'd have forced on the team sheet. Him and Mainu have been really solid for us this season. But it's a shame Ahmad hasn't gotten a lot more game time. But we've got Ahmad Anthony a lot more game time, and he hasn't really done a lot. Richard says, our problem with Ten Hag is he's very stubborn. Even when it's called for, he won't change tactics. Yeah, I mean, sometimes being stubborn will get you nowhere, and that's true. Like, you cannot, like, say you're coming up against a top team. Like, Man City are better than us. Liverpool are better than us. Arsenal are better than us. At the moment, even Aston Villa are better than us. I hate to say that, but yeah, you can't. If you're coming up against a top team, you have to change something around. If the game's not going well, change it. If you lose a match, change your tactics. Like, for fuck's sake, like come on, really, come on. Like, you cannot be sitting there saying, "Oh, it'll be fine, it'll be fine, it'll be fine." It's like Ange Postecoglou at the start of the season. I'm not changing my tactics. You change the tactics. But still, yeah. Kabina says Martial should go. Hamza says, good news, he has to go. The man who was no emotions when things go wrong. Good boy. Richard says, and he does not rotate. Did not do what Ajax has not done here. Yeah, but the Eredivisie is not as competitive as the Premier League. And, Ten Hag can't. It was a few months ago we said the style of play I had with Ajax, I can't play with Manchester United. I mean, that's one of the reasons why we brought him in, because the style of play at Ajax was good. So how can you not do it at Manchester United? And look, then he done a thing with Gary Neville a few weeks back on Sky saying that we just couldn't get the players. But it is one of the reasons why we brought him in, because he had good style of play. Comes into Manchester United. Last season it wasn't too bad. So last season you thought, right, we'll see glimpses of this style of play, and unfortunately last season was brilliant, but this season there's none. There's none. There is no style of play. Sorry about that. But yeah, the Eredivisie is nowhere near as competitive as the Premier League. But yeah, user 80 says Rashford's behaviour has been absolutely pathetic. His antics have been beyond embarrassing. Very poor body language and attitude for me. Whenever he gets called out, he labels it abuse when it isn't. Social media merchant. Yeah, again, I'm starting to get pissed off at Rashford, because you criticise him and he gets called you're abusing him. It's not. In that case, Ten Hag has been getting absolutely annihilated. Anybody has been getting annihilated this season. But I wouldn't call it abuse, depending on what you're caught saying to him. Some people just don't listen. But yeah, no, it's like, come on, what's it? What I said some while ago? If you doubt me, fine. If you back me, good. I don't know. It was something fucking, Shakespeare sort of things. But yeah, no, but you can't, because Rashford this season has been shocking, and I like Rashford, but yeah, like I just don't know. I just don't know. Really, really, just don't know. Richard says exactly is not as competitive as the Prem. Hamza says, let's get Zidane or Tuchel. I don't want Tuchel. I wouldn't mind Zidane, but I don't think Zidane will want the job, because that's just how it is. When I look at Zidane, I don't think you want to come to Manchester United, unfortunately. I think you'd rather go to the Bayern than us. User says Ten Hag had players at Ajax that all bought into what he was doing and had a very good dressing room. It's a toxic dressing room that do what they want when they feel like it. Yeah, exactly, exactly. Like, it's any more news? No, no more news. That's the thing about a lot of news goes around, then it just goes down a bit. But yeah, exactly. And some of these players have really bought into his style of play, which is shit. Which is shit. Emmaus says the news is a hot pot of horseshit. Well, look, it may be, but we're all getting a bit of news. We're all coming on here just having a discussion about it. I'm not saying I believe it. I'm not saying I don't believe it. We're just coming on to have a discussion. But again, let's see what happens. Look. Again, you may be right, man. You may be right. You may be right. But I don't know. I really, really don't know. I can't really see it. Especially because he's followed that up with saying they're thinking of replacing him with Jose fucking Mourinho. Sorry, didn't know I woke up in 2017. Did he? What? No. Did he actually? Well, I did see if you were wirely put him a while ago, but I didn't. Did he say it straight after? Did he say it straight after? Romano has kind of said it's a 50-50 chance that he'll either, it's 50-50 with the situation and with Ten Hag at the moment. Richard says, smash the likes. Exactly. Listen to Richard Anime as well, who's also said, well, we hope he hit 950 before the stream ends, but let's see what happens. But yeah, please do hit them up if you haven't already, and follow our social links in the description. But again, obviously over between now and the summer, we'll definitely be live a lot more. Well, not that we'll live a lot more, but tomorrow we'll have the Man United City preview out. Which, Jesus Christ, I hope you beat them. And then Friday, I'm sure we'll come up with something. If there's no more big dramatic news, we'll talk about something if we can. But we'll see what tomorrow's preview. We'll decide whether it'll be live or pre-recorded, depending on what the schedule is like. But again, let's see what happens over the next couple of days, weeks, the summer. Yeah, it's going to be a very, very interesting summer. Ineos, what will they do? A lot of news about Dan Ashworth. So, will we have him soon? Who we're going to get rid of? Who we're going to sign? We already know Martial's going. We already know Varane is going. Who else? I don't know who else is going. Our contract, anyways. Look, I wouldn't be surprised if a few more players go. I did see something that Tommy Heaton was going, but I don't know whether. I don't believe everything I see on social media anymore. I cannot. But there is a lot of interesting news. What happens with Ten Hag? What happens with Erik Ten Hag? Again, appreciate everyone who was came in today, commented, liked, subscribed, all that sort of stuff. again, this is news that we hope can we bit more certainty, anyways. Because you know we're all just a bit what's going to happen now. What's going to happen now? But yeah, Corbina says, but I think also Man United should just go EPL players, just go buy EPL players, then getting players from outside of the EPL. Honestly, I wouldn't really want that. I mean, look, the only player in the Premier League I'd like, well, we've been linked to him, is Elise. Maybe there's a chance we'll get Elise. I mean, again, that'd be again, if say Liverpool comes in or Manchester City or whoever, there's a lot of thinking for him to do then. But look, if we're the only club in for him, then happy days. But Elise, I wouldn't mind Elise because we've been linked to him. And look, I think I think your Man Cities and your Arsenals and your Liverpools and your whatever have decent players. Like every team has decent players, but no one's got. I don't think we'll go away from. Not many clubs go for players in the Premier League. I mean, well, you look at Chelsea. Cole Palmer, Raheem Sterling. It's like Chelsea just want to be the next Man City, bringing in Palmer, then Sterling. Obviously, City got Kovacic, but you don't really see a lot of things. But again, obviously MA, who's part of the channel as well, once he's back in action, we'll have to do a video on who to get rid of and who we'd like to see come in, and we'll have new shows, all that sort of stuff, which we're looking forward to. But again, let's just see what happens. But Ineos have a lot of work on their hands this summer. There's no doubt about it. They have a lot of work on their hands this summer. And the problem is just hopefully they can do everything right. Because look, if they do one thing wrong, well then it's done for them. It's as simple as that. Wouldn't say one thing wrong. It'd have to be very, very bad. But hopefully that doesn't happen. Rameh says it has to be the right signing. Can't spend 60 million again on a Prem fail. Yeah, I mean Mason Mount, for example, it didn't really work out. I want to look up actually how many games Mason Mount has played for Manchester United this season. Mason Mount, because we signed him for a bit. Mason Mount, I can't believe we signed. I still don't get this Mason Mount signing, by the way. Let's see. Mason Mount has made one appearance in the FA Cup, 14 appearances in the Premier League, and 2 appearances in the Champions League and in the Carabao Cup 2. So that's 14, 15, 17, 19. He's made 19 appearances for us this season because you have 1 in the FA Cup. Then you have 14 in the Premier League, so that's 15. 2 in the Champions League, 17. 2 in the Carabao Cup, 19. Is that good enough for a player we bought for? Like, spent 60 mil on him, or 65 mil on him, whatever it was, something like that. It was in the 60 mil mark, anyways. So, definitely. Like we had the prime example, wasting money on him was a complete waste of time. It has been woeful. Get him out. I still don't get the Mason Mount sign. Really, really don't. I told everyone when he came in it wouldn't work. It was clear. How much more money are we going to keep wasting? I mean, look, when I seen we were linked with him, I just kept saying, get away from, because Chelsea wanted to hire, I would say 40 million, then it was 50 million, then it was 60 million, then it just leave him. Like that money could have went to another striker, another centre-back, a defensive midfielder, a left back, a right back. It could have went to any other position, but the position we signed him in, Bruno was always in there. Bruno only misses games because of injury, which is surprising to say. or unless he's suspended. It's not very often Bruno Fernandes gets dropped to the bench. It's not. It's not often that Bruno comes off. It really, really isn't. And you know, I hope it works out. But a year later, not a lot of game time, not a lot of goals. I know he's had injuries and all that, but again, injuries as well. Like, come on, surely he's not injury prone like the rest of the bunch. User 80 says the question is how many of those appearances were starting games. It was mostly from the bench. That is true. That is very, very true. That is true. Yeah, definitely, that's true. Now, in fairness, yeah. So 19 in total, and he's played 755 minutes of football with Manchester United. How has he played 514 minutes in the Premier League for us? 15 minutes in the FA Cup, 91 minutes in the Champions League, and 135 minutes in the Carabao Cup. And he's only had one goal and one assist. I mean, it's just not good enough. Like, Johnny Evans probably had more appearances than him. Writing is on the wall. It is never going to work with Mount. Honestly, I think the best thing for us is get him gone. Get him gone. But yeah, please do subscribe if you are new. Please do subscribe. We're 3 away from 950. So if you can get us there, it'd be much appreciated. Do like the video, all that sort of stuff. Follow our socials as well. Links in the description. You can see the two main ones under myself there. What else? User 80 says, I don't believe he's played so many minutes at all, probably because he's been invisible when he's been playing. Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, I can't believe that these stats are telling me. This is transfer market, so again, it's not telling me the minutes from the bench. I mean, yeah, I mean, will this tell me? Here we go. In the Premier League, in percentage-wise, starting 11 is 13%. So he hasn't been in the starting 11 a lot. 13%. Like, Jesus. Do the math. 17% in the Champions League. And also, he's had 15% of minutes in the Premier League and 17% of minutes in the Champions League. Yeah. I mean, you can play... Jesus Christ. So, yeah. I still think when he missed that sitter against Lens in the preseason game at Old Trafford, yeah, definitely not. Definitely, this is not good, man. This is not good at all. Yeah, usually, yeah. I mean, yeah, agreed. Richard says, "Thanks, Dean. Thanks for the chat, guys. Gotta go. See you later, Richard. Pal, take it easy. Take it easy. And look, I'm sure we'll see it for tomorrow's show." User 80 says, "Embarrassing, isn't it?" Oh yeah. Yeah, exactly. The minutes ratio is embarrassing. I mean, yeah. You know who else I want to look at? Anthony. Just before we hit the road. Just before we hit the road. Anthony. And then we'll hit the road because, look, I'm sure we'll get to 950 subs before the end of the weekend. We're 2 away. We're 2 away. So hopefully we can get there before the weekend. Right, I just want to have a look at Anthony and then I'll leave you all alone. We can go and we can go have a bit of dinner. But if there is a preview tomorrow, it'll be at 5 o'clock. It'll be at 5 o'clock. And I hope that suits you all as well. If it's not, let me know. But I hope that sorts you. Because so for Anthony, he's played 20, what? What? Surely that's only this season. Yeah, look, we'll ignore that, but we'll ignore that because I'm not sure whether that's this season or last season. Because it's saying he's made 29 appearances for us in the Premier League, 4 in the FA Cup, 4 in yeah, that's this season, right? Not 29 appearances in those past 2 seasons at Manchester United. Yeah. Actually, no, hold on. 82 appearances? Again, I couldn't tell you. Couldn't tell you at all. Couldn't tell you. Had a bit of a glitch there. Is it gone? It's gone. Right. Well, look, everyone, appreciate all joining. Very, very good show, as always. But we're going to hit the road. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Thank you for joining me. Legend as always. Nice to see we've had a lot more people joining the channel as we go on. And look, we will do a lot more of these new shows, of course. Tomorrow we'll have the preview for the Man City game. Friday we'll probably have another new show. Then Saturday be the FA Cup final watch along. Then joined with the post match reaction. Hopefully it's a good post match reaction. Sunday probably just take a day off, depending on what happens on Saturday, and then Monday we will be back on the saddle again. Usually says 29 matches, 1 goal, 1 assist. Whoa, that's only in the Prem, and he's probably. I mean, he scored in two in the FA Cup. 1 against Wigan, no, 1 against Coventry, and 1 against Coventry, 1 against Newport, and 1 against Liverpool. Ow. Yeah, I mean, look, it is definitely going to be interesting, but suppose no decision has been made with Ten Hag yet, but that's for P. Hall, so I'm not really sure whether he's a top bloke. 3 goals in 38 matches overall, then that's not good, is it? That's not good. Unfortunately, it's not good for us. Yeah, it's a shame that things hasn't worked even out. Hasn't worked out with Anthony. But yeah, supposedly Stam is in talks with the turn to the club. Not as a manager, I think anyways. Tell you what, Stam. New defender, Stam. New defender. But look, you're all a bunch of legends. We're going to hit the road. Please do like the video if you haven't. Comment your thoughts on the news and subscribe. Follow our socials, links in the description. You're all a bunch of legends. Thanks to new people that subscribed and came in. Hopefully we'll see you for the next shows, the next future shows, and we'll speak to you all on the next one. Have a great day, and speak to you all tomorrow. Have a good one.